Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's go, baby. Bitcoin, NASDAQ pumping, Bitcoin struggling. Let's take a look. Bam, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. NASDAQ pumping, Bitcoin slumping. What's happening in the world markets? We're going to break it down for you. We're going to show you the NASDAQ trade that's winning right now that I've held for a few days. We're going to put some lime in the water. We're going to get ourselves feeling absolutely amazing. God bless every single one of you here today. You are my peoples. You are my number one. Besides my family, I love y'all. I do everything I can to make sure this group, this community stays intact every single day. Let's take a sip of the water. Let's stay hydrated. Let's get our mindset on the right path right at the beginning of the day. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's get that music back up and running. Shout out to all my beautiful people here that are pushing it, living life to the fullest and full of love, light, and happiness. Let's break down Bitcoin like we do every single day. Remember that time when I was not switching the screen for like a week? Oh my gosh, back in the summer. Always doing something funny. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. And it's a red day. You know, you can see Sammy's in the red tie, red shirt, red coat, red pocket square. What's happening? Is it a red day? Maybe not. Maybe we can reverse. We'll find out. But we started off red. I felt a little red today to begin the day. So let's see what's happening for Bitcoin. We got a little bit of bullish divergence that we tried to get a bounce from earlier today. It only gave us a bounce to resistance at about 114,008. So Bitcoin struggling right now to stay above the water. But the NASDAQ trade that I gave you guys not long ago, absolutely ripping to the upside, that looks a little unsustainable. But I'm looking for this daily to continue to rip to the upside. I told you this daily was going to rip basically out this flag, and we showed you the flag right here, and I gave you the trade, and we started to rip, and we're continuing to rip on this daily time frame to the upside. I've moved my stop loss to break even, actually into position, up 173 right there, and I may actually just go all the way up and take it. Let me take a look at the 1 minute time frame and teach you how to get paid. If I take this trade today, I make $500 of the day. That's absolutely beautiful. And I can trade Bitcoin, Forex, NASDAQ, Tesla, Apple. I can show you how to trade any asset in the world with my strategies. It works on everything. The 21, the 200, the crack above, the movement, the bots. It's all the same algorithm. I guess the rich are lazy and they set it on everything. So all we have to do is trade the same way on every single asset in the world because they control it and they're using some type of algo. So this says that we are a little far away. We may come back down. You know, I'm looking at my stop loss here. I'm thinking of maybe possibly moving it. I'll move it into 530 into profits. I'm guaranteed to take $530 there on the day. So there you go. Today's a win. If you made $500 every day of trading, that's $2,500. That's actually in a week, just 5 days, that's $2,500. That's 10 grand and you get the weekends off. You know what I mean? If you can aim for 500 a day, you're going to be doing pretty good, especially on a Monday when it's really treachery to trade. So I like what we're seeing here. I like the movement. And Bitcoin, baby, Bitcoin. So don't be greedy too, that you can position yourself in good trades and give yourself, you know, areas where you won't get stopped out so quickly if you don't always have to go for the biggest wins all the time. Small wins stack up over time. I say this to all the people, but they don't believe me because everyone's chasing the big gains. They don't understand that it's the small days. Like everyone wants 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, but they don't know that it takes one streaming day at a time. I did 1,780 days straight, and now we're here. So if you want to get something in life, if you want to be successful, give up this overnight, it's going to happen to me tomorrow. Tell yourself in 5, like right now, everyone here wants to be a multimillionaire, a billionaire. Everyone here wants to be a millionaire. If you're not a millionaire yet, let me know in the comment. Do you want to become a millionaire? How many people here want to become a multimillionaire? Or let's just start at the very beginning. How many people want to become a millionaire here on the show? I should see every single person here comment. If you can comment, you might be at work, you might be driving. I get it. Some people are podcasting with me. But if you want to become a multimillionaire, if you want to become a millionaire, let me know. Put your comment here in the section. Say, hey, put a 333. Say yes for me. Say yes, 333. Yes, 333. All right. This entire chat should blow up right now. There shouldn't be one person that doesn't believe they can make $1 million in their life. All right. Then we can make multiple millions. Once we get the first million out the way, we can make multiple millions. 100%. All right. So everybody here wants to become a millionaire or has already become one or is on their way. All right. So it's not going to happen overnight. We're not going to, I know you want 100x a coin and you heard the story of the guy that turned this into that, and it can happen. You can diligently turn 10,000 into $1 million trading Lev if you're really, really hardcore at it and you go at it every day with strict discipline. But you got to believe in yourself and you got to have a system and you have to stick to your system and you can't change the discipline. Okay. So if you want to become, I am a multi-millionaire, shout out to my man Jamal, 100%. And your mind, riches never, I got this cool saying, riches never follow the poor mind, right? No man got wealthy with a poor mind. Maybe they happened like completely accidentally, but they would eventually squander it away anyway. Wealth follows a rich mind. First, the mind gets rich, then the money follows. The mind isn't poor and gets rich. Think about it. No poor mind got rich. Like someone with poor mentality never got rich. Someone with a rich mentality first eventually accumulated wealth. It all started in the brain. So that means once you decide you're rich, you are. Don't you get it? Once you say that your life is over until you, I'm not, but like you're not going to live that over, like, you know, the old life is over. You know, you're not going to live that mediocre life anymore. You're going to keep pushing. Bang. Right? So anyway, we're going to get into the charts. We're going to talk about it, but I just wanted to say in 8 years, I'm going to make my first million and start today. 8 years from now, there's a high probability you'll be a millionaire. Once you're there, you'll never go backwards because you create the mentality that puts you there. So the odds of you going backwards are very low. Unless you do drugs, hang out with the wrong person, or get emotionally drained. That's why you got to watch who you're around. People can take you down. Stay away from negative energies, negative people. You'll see them. And if you've been taken down by negative people like me, you'll start to recognize it and you'll be able to avoid it. I wasted so much of my time. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here and break down BTC. So the first thing I want to let you know is you are on your way to becoming a millionaire. But it may not happen overnight. It may not happen in 1 year. It may not happen in 2 years. It may not happen in 3 years, but it may happen in 4 or 5. You see what I'm saying? Set a realistic goal. Ask yourself how you're going to get there and plan your trip today. Everyone else just says, I'm going to be a millionaire with this random idea in their head. Like they're just going to throw some darts in the air and it's all going to come back to them and just poof. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to think it out. You should write down how much money you should make at this time next year and put it under your pillow. That's what I did. I wrote down I want to make 280. I said I want to make 300 grand next year. And that year I made 290K. I was 10,000 short of my goal, right? And I said, oh my God, it's the most money I ever made in a year. I've never made 300 grand in a year. You know, and then it came to 500, a mil, and then it continued to grow, right? So keep pushing. Let's take a look here at the weekly time frame. So just get yourself a long-term plan. Stop thinking it's going to happen overnight, and you're all set. And just work every day till you make it. You know what I mean? If I said I was going to hit 100,000 subscribers in a couple months and they got depressed when I didn't and then left the channel. But if I said, you know what, I'm going to work until I hit it. I don't know when I'm going to get there, but I'm just going to keep going until I get there. I will hit the goal if I tell myself I'm going to hit it. And I did hit the goal, right? So you can too. If I can do it, you can do it. Stop telling yourself you can't do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to. And you're good at everything. You're good at remembering things. You're good at math. Stop putting yourself down. I met my neighbor the other day and he said, oh, I'm horrible with names. The first thing he said to me, put himself down the second I met him. I'd only known him for 2 minutes and he already put himself down. Don't put yourself down. Don't speak negatively about yourself. Push yourself every single day, baby. All right, let's break it down. So Bitcoin on the weekly. I'm going to get rid of everything, the moving averages. We're going to double click price action. And we're going to look at even the monthly still looks good to me, right? The monthly staying inside of the rising wedge. If you're new to this channel, we go over the bigger time frames every day and then we whittle it down. It's called top-down analysis. I am an expert at top-down analysis. That's what I do. I use all the time frames every single day, and I'm aware of where the 1 minute is. I'm aware of where the weekly is. I can see all the time frames in my subconscious mind at one time. That is a superpower. That took me years to be able to develop. You will get there too. I will teach you how to have a superior mind when it comes to trading. I'm going to work on your brain as much as I work on your TA. And we're going to fine-tune the way you think about money, about your life, and about how much money you can achieve and how many positive changes you can make on this earth. Money just lets you make a positive change on this earth. That is it. That is it. Let's take a look here at the weekly. The weekly looks absolutely beautiful, but what do we don't want to see this week? Let's talk about the treachery for the week ahead. All right. So beautiful. We have a beautiful support. This candle opened. This candle closed at 114.2. This one would open 114,200 is a key level we do not want to lose. Okay. We must hold that level. And shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. I'm going to read that super chat in a second here. I'm just honed in right now on Bitcoin. So we got this bounce. Boom. We fell below it. We're back above it. I do not want to see a weekly candle close below 114.2. We close below 114.2, then it says we're going to 111 or possibly all the way back down to 109,000. I kind of want to be done with 109. We had our way with it. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Then we lost it. Then we had to get back above it. I'm sick of 109. Like, I don't want to see 109 again. I really don't. I want to be done with the 109s. I want to make 114 the new 109, battle with it for a few days, a week, and then I want to move on out to a bigger move here. So I like 114,000 as our holding point. We can't go back below it. This weekly candle cannot close below these tweezer bottoms. If that happens, We have to start deciding that this could be a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Could we have a black swan event? Anything is possible, my friends. Anything. You have to remember that. Anything is possible. There's one thing that could happen that would ruin this entire industry, and you all know it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, but you all know exactly what's on my mind. I don't even like saying that, all right? But you all know exactly what it is. Do not write it in. Everyone knows exactly what I'm saying. Do not write it in the chat. Don't be stupid, all right? I love you guys. But we talk telepathically here. You guys know exactly what I'm saying. I know exactly what you're saying. We are locked in. There's no way you're not locked in with me right now. You are a lifer. I am a lifer. I've given you my life. I've shown you everything. That way you know who I am, okay? I've been the most transparent guy on YouTube. You can't show everyone every single thing, but I've shown dang well more than everybody else in this entire industry, and that's why people love me, because I've thrown it all out there, all right? You see me cry. You see me laugh. You see me scream. You see me jump. You see me get pissed. You've seen it all. You've seen all sides of me. You know me. You know me. I've never hid something from you because I've gone every single day. And there's no way you can hide yourself from people when you go for 1,700 days. They're going to find out who you are, okay? That's the beauty of this channel, the everyday live stream. No one else has done it. Nobody in the industry has done this. Nobody has given themselves like this. So let's go, baby. Let's go all the way. And I want to teach you to give yourself all the way to what you believe in. Push yourself to the limit. Stop thinking there's some level that you should hit compared to everybody else. Man, your level is way above everybody else around you. You're a lifer. There's nobody like you. You're a vicious savage. You're going to go all the way. You're going to put in 10 hours when they put in 6. You're going to put in 12 hours when they put in 10. You're going to put in 10 days when they put in 6. You are not going to stop because you are a crypto lifer. May God bless you. Okay, so we don't want to tweeze your top here on the weekly. That would not be what we're looking for. I'm not going for that. That's not what I want, all right? So that's not going to be a good look for us next Sunday night. Again, we have a long time. We have the entire week ahead. And we would like red first so we can come up and create a nice little tail, right, on the weekly. So this would be beautiful. It would be 3 white soldiers. We would have the midweek to pump. And it's setting up for a pump, right? We should dump into the Fed hike. If we get that beautiful number that we're all looking for, we should pump, okay? We should pump. So we don't want to be pumping into the rate cut. That would be strange. So it would be odd if we were pumping today. 100%. So this all makes sense to me. Everything is lining up exactly. The one thing I'm very concerned about, extremely concerned about here, is this shoulder, this head, this right shoulder. And there's my man, Crypto Face, in the house with $100 every time. Let's go! You got me hyped right now, man. I'm on one right now. Woo! Woo! Shout out to my peoples, man. And look at that, man. This guy was one of the biggest guys in the space. I used to watch him from afar. I was a little nerd. Nobody knew me. Now he shows up and gives me super chats. That is the world that you can create for yourself, man. Behemoths in the space will find out who you are if you keep pushing, man. Shout out to Crypto Face, man. Guy shouldn't even give me any attention, and he's a boss in the space, man. And he's good to me. He loves me. He's got a big heart. Subscribe to his channel. Find out about him. Crypto Face is the man. One of the nicest people in the space. One of the nicest people in the space. And he doesn't dance. He doesn't dance around. He's a good dude, man. All right, let's get back into the charts. I'm a little too excited today. Losing my breath. Can barely speak. I think I need some water. It's getting crazy in here. Okay. And that's another thing, man. This industry is great. People will bring you in. If you show that you're the hardest worker in the space, people will bring you in, man. They have nothing but to respect you for it. Bitcoin pumping. I like this move back to 115. I might be missing a bit of a move here. Let me look at my NASDAQ trade. Still doing all right. Coming back down. Are they going to balance it? No, nice pump there on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ looking strong. We may turn this into a $1,000 trade later on today. I like what I'm seeing. We're going to pump, but no, Bitcoin just pumped above liquidity zone. Now worked off liquidity zone. Yeah, false move Monday too. I do not like trading Mondays. I trade Monday afternoons. Remember that. After 6, 7 p.m., I start to get busy. Monday night, one of my favorite nights to trade. Shout out to Crypto Face, man. Shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. And Andrew actually wrote a Bible verse. I don't want to dismiss that. Morning, Sam. Wishing all the lifers a blessed week. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. Insane, right? A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. Amazing, huh? And I know I'm going to leave something for my children's children. My kids are already loaded and they don't even know it yet. Isn't that crazy? My kids are already set. And I told my wife the other day, I said, my daughters don't even know how set they are. I said, we're not. She's like, we ain't going to tell them either. They're gonna think they broke for a long time. You know what I mean? But crazy, man. I was a man. Anything could happen, man, if you push your mind. So let's get back into these charts. But God bless you. So the weekly looks good. We do not want to tweezer top of the weekly. We do not want to be breaking back below this key level. That's not going to be a good look. Love the energy today. Shout out to Underground Crypto in the house. Thank you so much for being such a supporter of me, man, and helping me when you came through to my house, man. God bless everyone that's been there for me in some way, shape, or form. Everyone has helped me get to where I'm at today in some way, shape, or form. Whether it was a message when my mom was dying, you know, whether it was when my dad passed and you guys said, hey, keep it up. Every one of you did something for me in some of the hardest times of my life. And that's why I'm going to be here every single day. I'm never going to stop. Till they take me out, man, or till I leave this earth. I'll be here every single day. Till they Charlie Murk me. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. All right? So, tweezer tops right there, man, on the 5-day chart. I don't like what I'm seeing there. I would like that to close on out. We take a look here, too. We got 930. I don't want to, that's right there either. So, I don't want to see tweezer tops on the 3-day. Let's take a look here at the daily. The daily looks a little sketchy. And I'm going to flip on the moving averages and show you what's happening here on the daily. We got a couple scenarios here for the daily. All right. I like this bounce right here. That's key at 114,000. And I told you that's a weekly support of resistance. Right. So 100%. Right. And RIP, man, to anyone that got taken out. Like more, a bunch of people died last week. Let's be honest. I don't want to downplay, Charlie, God bless him and his family and everybody else. I just denounce all types of violence. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. I denounce all types of violence. It doesn't do anything for your frequency when you're violent to other people. It lowers your frequency. And you can't lower your frequency for others. So let them do what they do. We're going to continue to love. We're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to talk about God. We're going to continue to spread the love every single day. Because that's all we can do. I refuse to lower my frequency for low frequency. I'm going to keep it high. And I suggest you do the same. Okay. So the daily. And we're going to do all TA now. That's it. Nothing else. But previous support as resistance here, we got the bounce. Okay? Nice little bounce there on the daily. And we did get some bullish divergence on the 15-minute. I'd like to see this daily candle clean up. So it came out last night. They got a crazy pump. They dumped it into the morning to get all the late longs out of the way. Then they kind of ripped it again to get these late longs stopped out. Now they're kind of back in position here. And you can see the 21-day moving average is curving up to the upside. That's a good sign here for Bitcoin, and we're at the kind of level of this bigger channel. The shoulder, head, right shoulder broke out. So here's the deal. We just want to make sure that Bitcoin closes above 114,000 today. That's all that matters. Just make sure this daily candle does not close below support. It's really 114.3, 114.300. You can't close below that yellow line right here today. That's just not going to be a good look for Bitcoin. So we're going to have to, you want to see this candle basically fight off this low. It would be beautiful if it closed green. We don't need it to really to take out the wick here, but just come up here, close at the top. Then we can dump tomorrow. Pump on the rate hike. That's kind of negative, flat. Go sideways, and then when the money really flows into the market on September 22nd, a week after the rate hike, 5 days, Bitcoin goes on a massive tear. When the 21 comes into play, boom. And then that's my signal. When the 21 touches price action. So I'm waiting about 5 days for one of the greatest signals I've ever seen in my life to make one of the greatest trades for Bitcoin I've ever made. And this thing would be so official. It would pump right here, and it would get us right back to liquidity, 122,000. This is it. It's all looking good. We're above a point of control and above the weekly support of resistance. This is not a coincidence. These are key areas that you want to basically pay attention to. Let me get myself a little over there. And I realize this can be moved a little slightly back underneath. And I can put my, what looks to you as the right, but that's my left shoulder, right? Isn't that weird how you're looking at me, that's the right, but this is my left shoulder. So it's so weird. Anyway, difference between ancient Rome and Greece. It was Roman who said it was sweet to die for one's country. The Greeks never said it was sweet to die for anything. They had no vital law. I don't know what that means, but God bless you. I don't want to put down anybody. I love the Greeks and the Romans. Hey, Italians and the Greeks, huh? Hey. So here's the deal. I'm looking for sideways price action today. I'm looking for this just to not close below 114,000. I don't really care what else happens today. I just don't want to see it continue to dump here. And I just want to wait out my Monday until I get better price action. I don't trade Mondays, man. Very rare. It's funny. Then there was like 2 Mondays ago, I nailed it all day on the stream. Hey, Monday turned out to be nice. There happened to be a signal. I'll take it if it's there. If the probabilities present themselves, I'm a bot. I'll trade it. But if it's not there, I'm not going to force myself. Look, you can see a golden cross coming on the 12-hour time frame. You can see it. That 50-day is going to be crossing the 200 probably somewhere around here. Usually you get a pump right as the cross, you usually dump. So we cross, then we'll get a dump. Because that's what it confuses people. Because like it's never a pump right at the golden cross. Usually a pullback at the golden cross. What the golden cross means is circle the golden cross and then make another circle 2 weeks later, right? If this is September 18th, make another circle like October 12th or 2nd, I mean. And that tells you price action is going to be somewhere here. It's going to follow the trajectory. And I've seen this so many times. It's like a bigger story that you don't even have to really, you can't even have a fine-tuned indicator on it. Your mind just sees it because you've played it out in your mind so many times. All right. Does Sammy look at stocks too? Yeah, 100%. Send a stock in for a super chat. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but I will go over any single chart you give me. I love charts. Give me a chart. Let me eat it up. Let me find out the support or resistance. Let me see the key areas. Let me see where that fib is. Let me watch where that 200 moving average is in that daily. And let me give you the position of any indicator of any asset in the world. I will show you exactly how to get into it with high probability. And again, I'm not going to be right every time because I'm not 100%, but I'm going to be right dang well most of the time. And I know that for a fact because I've been here for a while. People love it. So the 8-hour touching the 21-day moving average, strong bounce area too. And so we just need this bounce today. We just need this bounce in the smaller time frames. We need the 4-hour to get a bit of a bounce here. And we need to form this ascending triangle that I got cooking. We need a bounce in this. It kind of resembles too what could become like a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. It could be a complex inverted head and shoulder as well that could get us out of here to the upside. So I like what I'm saying. Sam, can you look at BitFly on the stock market? Send in a super chat, everyone. There's just too much action here in the chat for me to pick out stocks in the chat. I just can't do it. Send in a super chat for tea and deep dive, and I greatly appreciate that. It also offends people that send in a super chat, then I decide to pick something out of the chat, and they're like, hey, but I sent in a super chat, and we got thousands of people here on the stream, so we got to do the right thing for the community. Send in a super chat for tea and deep dive. They can only be $1.99. You don't have to spend a lot. All right. So here's the deal. We go all the way here to 122,000. People as big as me too have been starting to do $5 to $10 super chats. I'm still honoring the 199s, man. When it gets crazy, we can't even finish them all. We get like 50, 60 super chats a stream. It gets out of control in the bull market. But right now, we're still well reserved. That's another reason how you can tell when the bull market's ripping. I will get super chats out of control. When I get the most super chats of any stream that I can't even finish, that's when you know we're headed towards the end of the rally. When people are just like firing off super chats, like, and I'm getting like 70 super chats a stream and I can't even finish and I'm trying to push them all in and I can't even live trade because everyone's like, brrr. That's when you know we're getting towards the end of the rally. So my stream will tell you when the rally's getting over by how many super chats I get. When we get bombarded and every retail and their mother's in there asking about every single coin, you know that we're getting towards the end of some overheated rally. When no one's asking for super chats, when it looks like my stream has dropped from like 2,000 people to 1,500 and it's like kind of, that's when you know it's time to buy, man. My stream alone will give you the highs and lows of the market because I'm always here. The consistency of the stream will actually teach you when the market's going to pump and dump. It's insane because it's always here. So the stream has picked up on consistency, right? Because if the stream never ends, then it's going to be able to give you parameters. That's why a buoy that sits in the same place can tell you the weather. If you move the buoy around, it would lose its sense of control. But the buoy sits 3 miles off the shore of Massachusetts and it tells you where the waves are coming. It can tell you everything. Then when there's an abnormal movement, it can say, hey, this isn't like all the other times. I'm here every day. And so when you do something every single day, bang. Someone says Michael Pa is the top signal. You guys are funny, man. Hey, it might be. Has he come during the top? You never know. And shout out to Michael. If you're out there, God bless Michael Pa. Guy comes by and just drops $500 super chats. He's done it like 30 times. It's insane. 15 grand in super chats for sure. Like the dude is like insane. So we're looking for this to get a bounce. We don't want to lose 114,000. We're looking for some type of support on the smaller time frame. So today, what we don't want to see is we don't want to see the 1 hour lose the 200 moving average. We want to see that hold. We want to see the stochastic rip back to the upside. We got to get a bounce here. What also looks pretty weird is you kind of see this shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Let me get rid of it. I don't need it, but that's like a shoulder, head, right shoulder. You see that right there? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. That could get us further to the downside too as well. That's a little sketchy. So what we're looking for, if my chubby thumb did not hit that button there, so what we're looking for is we're looking for this to go side. We're looking for this to break out of what looks like a falling wedge. You see? We need this falling wedge to break to the upside on the 1 hour. Defy that possible head and shoulder pattern. There you go. Defy that head and shoulder. We'll swing this measured move. That would be your move out of this triangle okay, out of this falling wedge to the upside. You can kind of see the shoulder, head, right shoulder, but it looks like it got denied there and we got the pump, which is a pretty good sign. And you're getting oversold. I mean, you dumped this for 10, 12 hours. You had your way. I think it was a bad time to dump the market because you would have got more action today. So like Asia, whatever reason they dumped last night, I don't know why. It's better to dump on New York than on Asia, right? In the middle of the night, you make more money. I don't know. It made no sense. So it almost kind of seems like a fake dump. You know what I mean? Because why wouldn't you dump on New York in the morning when you dumped at 3, 4 in the morning? Everyone's asleep. Could have got way more stop losses taken out if you dumped this at like 6, 7, 8 in the morning. So I'm looking for this right shoulder of the 15-minute. All right? I'm looking for this to kind of make a right shoulder and begin to get out of here. I'm looking for the ascending triangle on the bottom. Flat top, moving up here. This is what we're going for. So if Bitcoin's bullish, we're going to stay above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. We're going to find a bottom here using this. Look at this bull div on the 15-minute. I pointed it out to my group. I mean, swing up, sharp swing down. You have a really strong bullish divergence here on the 15-minute. What is bullish divergence? You've got to know your divergences. You've got to study them. You've got to have a sheet next to you. Go and type in divergence cheat sheet right now on Google. It's going to give you a beautiful divergence sheet. I give it to everyone in my trading group when they take my class. I teach class the last Saturday of every month, but I'm teaching it this Saturday coming up because I'm going to Singapore. I will not be here the last Saturday. So jump on in. Class is this Saturday. And I just taught it not too long ago. $150 for what I believe the best class in all of the interwebs. I could be doing this automatedly, turning it into a course and selling it for thousands of dollars. I decided God will bless me with some other way to create revenue if I give away my knowledge at a very less price compared to everyone in the market. So that's a course people are charging $3,000 for. I'm charging $150. I charge $300 for an hour. That's $150 for 3 hours with me. I mean, you can't get a better deal online anywhere else to find someone that's been trading the markets as long as me and gives you that much information. Everyone's a little more greedy with their money and time. God's taking care of me so well that I give everything away because I know God's going to be there for me. I work for God, man. That's it. He's my number one, man, and I'm not going to break for anybody or anything. Like, it doesn't matter. He saved me. He got me. He showed me the way. I am blessed because of God. My life is so amazing because of God. Everything in my life is because of God. This moment we all have right now is due to God. So cherish your life, cherish your being, cherish your moments, and love the present. The present is where you create. The present is where it all happens. So we're looking for this right shoulder on the 15-minute time frame to be made. It looks like it could take 3 to 4 hours, right? So this is the bullish scenario. We make a right shoulder. We blast back to the upside. We catch a trade later on today. Maybe somewhere about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're able to catch an entry to the upside, all right? Jackie Kennedy gave her copy of Edith Hamilton's The Greek Way to Bobby Kennedy after President JFK assassinated, providing him with a source of comfort and inspiration. God bless you. Thank you. Someone wants Brett on the low time frames right now, booming. We'll take a look at Brett. I love Brett. I still hold Brett. We're going to look at Palantir and CRVW. Okay. Just usually one super chat per chat, though. If everyone did double, it would be crazy. Sam, I have a long and Suey at 329. Can you explain to me your TA if you have a nice entry? I've already gone over that many times, but I'll look at it, Little Dutchie. You've been around for a long time, brother. God bless you. Turbo, somebody asked about. And Towns, wow, we have a lot of super chats coming our way. I'm going to get to every single one of them once we finish Bitcoin here and have a pretty good understanding of what Bitcoin's doing. Because if you don't understand what Bitcoin's doing, it's going to wreck every single one of the altcoins you just asked me about. So as much as I want to do your altcoins and you care about them, you got to look at Bitcoin first. You got to. You can't say, oh, whatever happened to Bitcoin. You got to pay attention to BTC. So we're looking for some type of right shoulder here and a bounce on to the upside. We're looking for this to get busy. I like the bull div on the 15-minute. It's very strong. It's one of the strongest bull divs I've seen in a while. But you can see the clear resistance for Bitcoin. We fell through. We kind of bounced right there. We got pretty close. We fell through. Resistance. We have to flip 115,000. We got to get above it for good and then just use it as a retest and bounce away. 5-minute time frame. Looking okay. Like it could also be this shoulder had almost a right shoulder right there, right? Getting tight. And let's take a look at the 1 minute. The 1 minute, attempting to get back above the 200 moving average. This is technically my signal right now. This could play out. I believe we may have caught a daily bottom. You see this Adam and Eve here on the 1 minute? Look, that's an Adam and Eve double bottom. We broke out. We retested. That thing could break out to the upside. It has a measured move from the neckline just up there locally to 115,273. This is looking bullish to me. We're above the 200, touching the 21. That's a known signal that I take. I love that signal. I trade it over and over and over again. Will I trade it right now? Usually I don't trade it on a Monday, but it is looking like a possible bottom. Look at my last trade was last night. I told my students I got out for $30, exactly like I told you. 38.77 with 377. Look at the 77s, always following me around. And remember, we were kind of toying with this idea that the 5-minute may be able to break out of here and stay above the 200 moving average. Very, very key. So we're going to flip to that 1 minute. I'm on weeks, live trading here on weeks. I may not make a live trade. It's very rare that I live trade on Monday morning. Very rare. It's just bad probability. So I don't. A lot of people have been forced to trade because they got wrecked to the weekend. I don't know. They open up Monday and think it's the greatest. I don't know what it is. If you're a new trader, you can't stop FOMO. And all of us older traders know that. So you guys open up on Monday and you go right back into the market with whatever vengeance you had from Sunday or Friday afternoon, whatever happened to you. You know, I wait for all of you guys to get wiped out and clear away the market, and then I trade Monday night. But that's me. I've learned the hard way, man. I've been tossed and turned around Mondays to the point where I said, I'm not doing this anymore. You know what I mean? It's like riding your bike in the rain. It's not fun, man. You get wet, you get hit in the face, it's dangerous, and realize, you know what? After a couple times of doing it, you realize, you know what? I'm going to take an Uber, man. I ain't riding my bike in the rain today. You know what I'm saying? How many people have rode their bike in the rain? I've done it 100 times. It's not fun. You get wet, you get sweat. It's treachery. So we're looking for this to break out. This actually looks pretty bullish to me. It's almost good enough for me to take the long because of the bullish divergence on the 15-minute. See, the 15-minute is telling me that there's a good chance I could win this trade on the smaller time frame. Now, it's a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio, so I only have to risk $100 for $400. And we made a boatload of money last week, so it's kind of like, why not test it out? Let's see, 115, 887. I don't believe I'm going to take the trade, but before I take any trade, I look at the trade first, right? How could you even take a trade if you didn't know the trade? That's like going on a date. I have to go on a first date. How could I start a relationship I haven't gone on a first date? I got to go on a first date. This is my first date right now. I'm going to see if it's even possible. All right, we got to find out if we're compatible. Is this trade compatible for me in my system? If I can't see the trade, I don't even know that yet, right? So the liquidation would be 113.2. The stop loss would be 114.7. The take profit would be 115.8. All right. It looks like we're going to get the punch to the upside. It looks very bullish. It is Monday, but that looks nice to me. Now we raise up. Look how much that changed the trade now. Now you got to put the stop loss at about, 1.587. 1.4587. I believe that's what we're at. Yeah, you can see the stop loss is right there, 114.601. Now you got to risk way more, right? It's more of a 3-to-1 now. You can risk 200 for 600 on a Monday, 222 for 7. If I lose 200, who cares, right? If I gain it, is it even worth risking the 200? Sometimes it's not. It's low probability, but I like it. I mean, we got tight moving averages. It's just false move Monday, man. It makes me sketched out. Easily could rip me right down and dump me down $200. But we got the Adam and Eve double bottom. We bounced off this key area. There is some support there. I'm going to take the trade. Can I get it back down to the bottom of the pattern first? Yeah, it should. We got a bit of a tweezer top there. Come on back down. I can get it back there at 114.8 would be pretty nice, right? So I'm tempting to make a live trade here if it fits. This is my model. I'm waiting for my model. I use the moving averages and patterns, support or resistance, and honestly, and then I use multiple time frames. Like I can see the 15-minute has that bullish div. It's making sense to me. I like this bounce off the 21-day moving average right here. I'm going to be entering the trade with the touch of the 200. 200 for 737. It's a very low risk trade for me and my parameters and the way I trade and my portfolio. It's like 0.00001% of my portfolio. It's very small, right? So this is very low risk for me personally, but it can add to the stack. And that's all that matters. So I like this trade. We're touching the 21 above the 200. I don't like how the 21's curving a little bit. That can be a subtle sign that we may be dumping. That's got to curve back up a bit. That's very subtle, but I want to see that curve back up. The more you trade, the more tiny little things are going to be able to teach you stuff. You'll see something so small, the average person will never even think about it, and you'll be like, oh, I'm out of the trade. You'll be like, why? It's like, that's got to curve back up, because that's kind of telling me, is the 21 going to curve and cross the 200? Are we going to rip down? And then in the back of my mind, I see things no one else really considers, but like, it's kind of a shoulder, head, right shoulder that could dump on us to the downside. It's not all bullish. If you're not risking a very small amount, I think it's a bad trade personally. All right. So if you're not risking a small amount, I believe it's a bad trade. But again, you're going to have to do whatever you want. I can't tell you what to do. I don't know your portfolio size. I don't know how much money you have coming in. I don't know your life. I don't know your bills. I don't know how many kids you have, right? That's why I am not a financial advisor. And nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice because I cannot help you. I can't tell you what to do with your money. I don't know how much you have. I don't know anything about where you're at in life. So I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. All right? Makes sense, right? That's why when people come here, what should I do with my trade? I don't know. It's your trade, man. It has nothing to do with me because there's so much more involved than just the trade. Amen. And risk management has everything to do with where you're coming from, how much money you're worth. What is your net worth? And no offense, I don't really want to know everybody's net worth, man. Your wallet has nothing to do with my success, okay? Your knowledge does. I'd like to help you and make sure you know more than you had before. See this curving on the 21? It told me I was going to get taken out, and I didn't see it to the last second. Sketchiness, right? That's why trading on Monday can be like they're going to probably come get me now. Now we lost a triangle. We got to get this wick back up. We got to fight for it. It's a battle, and that's why trading is a trade. We don't know if I'm going to win for sure. I'm just taking a probability, and it's getting a little sketchy here. We're going to have to get a bounce right here, right now, for me to win this trade. The Bulls and the Bears are battling the 200 MA here on the 1 minute time frame. It looks like we may have lost the battle here for the Bulls and the Bears. Will Sammy lose the trade? It looks like they're going to come get me. I'm going to start Monday, and again, that's why I usually don't trade Mondays. It's like, I almost like to prove my point visually. Oh, he got stopped out. He said he would, you know. Now I'm like, that doesn't look good. Sometimes I bring it up and I only lose like $100. Like, imagine keeping this as a 79 would be a beautiful loss. To only lose 79 beans, it would be nice, right? To me, now the trade is invalidated. It was never supposed to close a candle below this blue line. It was supposed to bounce and get tight. This is telling me that the idea is already kind of a wrap. Unless they whip this thing back up right now, right now, it's got to get back in there. It's got to get back up in the process there. So I'll keep my stop loss. I'm risking like 150 now. I've moved it up a little bit, and we'll go from there. So there's a live trade on the channel. It's completely up to you whether it makes sense to you. I don't know if you know my strategy or have been studying with me. I have no clue. But if you've been watching me for a long time, then you may feel comfortable with this exact setup. I don't know, though. It's up to you. The odds are I win the trade, right? Will Sammy win the trade? Let's see, man. Let's see what's happening here. And there's a new hype button, apparently. You can hype up this channel to have other people find out about it. They're letting small channels grow. What they're doing is you can hit a hype. So you can become hyper. You can hype the stream. So please hype the stream up, hype the channel up. And what you're going to do is we get like more hypes. It actually puts us up to compete with bigger channels and puts us into the browser where more people can find me. So seriously, no, this is a huge deal. This is a new change to the algorithm that's really going to propel smaller channels to the upside. It's going to give a little competition to the bigger channels. But I need each and every one. People with diehard fans like mine and communities like mine are really going to grow this way. So please find that hype button. I'll look up more into it. But Google, how can I hype the Crypto Lifers channel? Ask Rock today. He'll teach you. Crypto Hyper, baby. Let's go. Will Lifer win the trade as he speaks in the third person? Yes or no? Start a poll. Will Lifer win the trade? I just like to see what people say here on the stream. Ooh. It looks like I shouldn't ask that because now it looks like I'm already out of the trade. I thought we had bounced. I didn't get to look at it. They dumped it. Who knows? I don't know. It's sketchy. Look, there's a shoulder, head, right shoulder there now. I looked at that on the 32nd. That's a shoulder. That's a head. That's a right shoulder. Sketchy. It looks like an Adam and Eve double top now, right? Look. There's your Adam. There's your Eve, right? To the downside. Stochastics RSI may hold us. This is sketchy business right now. And this is what trading on Monday is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Just like trading on Sunday afternoon the other day. It was just like back and forth, low volume, and then all of a sudden, huge spike. Then low volume, you know. It's crazy price action when you're trading on Mondays. Let's break down what's coming for the week ahead as I did it last night, but I'll do it again today with Forex Factory. So last night, Sunday, September 14th. Today, September 15th. Nothing crazy, right? Empire State Manufacturing Index at 830. Let's just take a look at what came in. And that, negative 8.7. Yikes. That's crazy. As forecasted at 4.3. We need some rate cuts, right? We need some rate cuts. They need some cheaper money to help that pump back to the upside. That's not a good sign. That's a sign that we need to cut the rate, in my humble opinion. You tell me. 8:30, core retail sales tomorrow, coming in at 8:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. We will get a crazy, violent move in price action. A 1 minute candle that goes woo, 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 right? So expect that Tuesday, 8:30 coming your way. And then we got the rate cut at 2 o'clock. I will be live twice, right? The day, and I'll come back at about 2:15 for Jerome Powell and his talk like I do every time. And then Thursday, we're back at it here for the unemployment claims at 8:30 in the morning. So we got a fun-packed week, man, with a lot of catalysts for price action coming our way. And we just got to pay attention. And I'll have you ready to go. We'll be on it. And I'll remind you in the trading group 10 minutes before. I'll be like, news coming in at 8:30. Be careful. I'll do everything I can to keep you guys situated and protected from this crazy market. All right? I'm still inside the trade. We're sideways. You never know. Let's see what people say. 72% say I'm going to win this trade. 28% say I will not. Let's see what happens here as we continue. Market on hold till rate cut. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do go pretty much sideways until the rate cut. If you like Sam's live streams, you will love being in the 99. Like-minded boys and girls supporting each other. Join us today for the education you deserve. Go to CryptoLifer.com. Understand? CryptoLifer.com. Hit the subscribe button at the top right. You can join the monthly, the quarterly, or the annual subscription. I'm here every single day. I would want to sign up to the most consistent person in the space. I don't know about you, but I would, right? I teach you how to lose right. Look, we're going to lose a small amount. We're not going to lose our whole portfolio. We're not going to get liquidated and wrecked. We're going to use a stop loss and actually have proper risk management. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. I already know what I should lose right now. See, I teach you to listen to Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. And Mark Douglas says traders don't have a lot of control over the market. He said they don't. Think about it. You don't know what's going to happen every time you get into the market. You have no clue. What you do have control of what you can lose. He goes, and I'm so amazed that people don't control that. He goes, when you're in a system that has a lot of lack of control and you're not sure what's going to happen, you should definitely do the one thing that you can control. Right now, I can control what I can lose. That's the one thing I can control. So boom. You see what I'm saying? So today I can control what I can lose. So to me, that's the one thing I can't control. So if you go in with no stop loss and just decide to go willy-nilly, then you're down 500. Oh, we'll bounce. I don't know what to do. I mean, that can get you so wrecked because you're going to sit there and flip-flop. Then you're going to have the habit. Then that becomes a habit. Whatever you do over and over again becomes a habit. Your subconscious mind will do something bad for you if it's habitual. People smoke cigarettes. They know it's bad for them, but they feel good about it. Their subconscious mind will go smoke that cigarette. People get addicted to things that aren't good for them. That tells you that you can do too. All of us can get addicted to things that aren't good for us. We can get addicted to not selling. We can get addicted to being in trades we shouldn't be in. We can get addicted to not using a stop loss. These are processes that you'll get habitually into, and then eventually it'll chew your portfolio to zero. So you got to start making habits that are going to help you stay alive. You have to, because whatever you do today is whatever you do tomorrow, and that's going to create habits. I habitually live stream. I know tomorrow the odds of me waking up, working out, motivating everybody around me and live streaming are very high. They're like 99% because that's what I do. I don't question it. If I'm sick, my knee is pounding right now. I've been in pain for days. Does it matter? No. I show up no matter what. There's nothing that stops me. My discipline propels me to success. Once you get discipline locked and loaded, you will never worry about money again because your discipline will be so locked. It will be better than 99% of the world or the industry or wherever you're in, and people will want to pay you more than everybody else because they're going to see you're more disciplined. You show up more put together. You do the job better. The guy's going to want your card, want your number. If you're in the service industry, if you're in the roofing industry, if you're power washing, I don't care what you're doing. Iron that shirt before you show up. Have a collared shirt with your logo on it. Look nicer than every other worker that came to that house. People like clean-cut people that show up on time and get it done. In Florida, we have a lot of people that are showing up sloppy and late, man. It's not like the Northeast. In the Northeast, most people are showing up pretty neat because there's like a level of respect up in the Northeast. Down in Florida, it's willy-nilly. They come late. They don't care. If you move down to Florida from the Northeast and you start a service business and you show up neat, ready to go and on time, you're gonna demolish. People are gonna be begging to know who you are. Right now, there's a huge opportunity for anyone in the service business to come down to Florida and actually wreck shop, especially on the Gulf Coast. I'm just giving you right now, there's a huge opportunity. There's a window right now. I can't find a good contract. I got one good guy and he's busy a lot. If I ever needed a second backup, I can't find it. They're sloppy out here, man. So looks like we're going to get stopped out on this trade for sure. It's an Adam and Eve double top. Look at it. There's a chance I get a bounce here. And I'm sorry to the beautiful 72% of people who believed in me today. But hey, it's not over yet. So you're telling me there's a chance we might get a bit of a bounce here, but it looks pretty ugly. We fell out of this. It's a symmetrical triangle. And we fell out. Symmetrical triangles usually do break to the downside. It's a chubby triangle, right? They usually don't. And look, I'm going to get stopped out for about 160, which is actually pretty sweet. I'm actually going to move it up. It's been invalidated at this point. So let me get stopped out and move on. Dang, live trade cooked. Again, do not trade Mondays. I learned my 160. I wait till tonight, till the market looks more ripe, till I see what the probabilities are. You see what I'm saying? 100%. I live in Memphis. There's no service business here. If you don't get scammed, you're doing better than 99%. That's crazy. Take a leave and use a massage gun and wear flip-flops after touching grass. Thank you. Super Chat, Swee, Palantir, Brett, Towns, Turbo, and the NQ. Let's take a look at my NQ trade and what's happening to it. It's actually flattening out. The NQ looks bullish to me. It's making a bit of a bull flag. I guess, I don't know. I mean, the money's flowing into the NQ, but you know what it is? We have altcoins and ETFs and other things flowing out of Bitcoin. Like, I think money's flowing out of Bitcoin into Ethereum right now. We're going to look at ETH BTC and verify that. But look, that's a bull flag on the NASDAQ. I trade that like 90% of the time. I see no, even though it's Monday, that looks good to me. I'm still inside my trade, and if that pumps, I'm going to make about $1,000 in this trade. So here we go, baby. Look at 555 SOL on the trade. 555 SOL, baby. 555, quadruple 5 SOL. With the 777s as my entry. 2, 3, 777s on the entry, man. We absolutely nailed it. If you took my entry, you could have passed your eval with this trade. You see what I'm saying? You would have made enough to pass an eval. Like, I gave it to you. I showed you where the stop loss is. There's no drawdown barely on the trade as well. So if you had a drawdown, you didn't even get it. 80% of my trades don't get drawdown. They start and pump from when I enter the man, because I study the pump like a maniac. And if I don't get in after the pump, I get upset. I'm like, man, I should get in and should pump. I should never see drawdown. Sometimes I take drawdown because I'm on a bigger time frame. I know the smaller time frames don't look perfect, but I'm busy for the whole afternoon and the next morning, and I'm not going to have time to stare at it. So I throw it out there knowing there's drawdown, keep the stop loss below at 200 on like the daily, and I wait days. Sometimes I'm down 1,000, 2,000, but if everything goes right, I come back up strong. But I don't like to do that too much. Do you see Phantom Wallet now has stocks to trade with? That's crazy. I've never heard of that. That's amazing. Like and share Sam Daily. Every minute of the live stream is worth a like. Thank you so much for defund the shorts. God bless you, man. So yeah, the NASDAQ looks absolutely beautiful for a pump. That's an ascending triangle with some bull pennant vibes. And that looks like it's going to pump further to the upside on the NASDAQ. Did I stay inside the trade? No, they did wick me though. They wicked me. Look at this. They wicked me out. Of course. And 14.5 is actually a psychological area of support or resistance, but that lost the parameters. Look at that. We didn't get the love. They dumped us just like they should on a Monday. I tell you what, 90% of the times my setups do not play out on a Monday morning. They just don't. So I've learned not to do it. They make me look stupid. Mondays make me look bad. People lose money on Mondays when we overtrade it. So I've learned my lesson. Look, it happened again. Every single time. They get me on a Monday. And look, it was an Adam and Eve double top that did exactly what it is. So crazy. That's an Adam and Eve double top. 1, 2, boom, right? You draw your neckline. Learn these strategies. And look, it fell back. That's exactly what it was supposed to do. An Adam and Eve double top right there after a double bottom right there. So I'm looking for chop here for Bitcoin. Bang, bang, bang. Wow, another super chat? Sam Price is a proof of work. More than a trader, teaching you how to win in life. The lifer. Love you, Sammy. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Wish I could win in fantasy football, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to be good at everything. You know what I mean? Redman took me out. Even though one of my guys did so good yesterday, it didn't matter. Bitfarms has been pumping hard, man. You guys are crazy. $250 in chat revenue. You guys are buying me steaks again tonight on just super chats alone. I'm amazed, man. God bless everybody here on the channel. Thank you so much. And Givers Gain. Shout out to Crypto Billy for giving. Shout out to Crypto Face for giving. Shout out to every one of you. I don't care if it's $1.99, $4.99. You people are blessed. God bless each and every one of you for kicking it with the lifer. Thank you so much for every single thing you've ever done for me. All right. Crazy, man. Crazy. Okay. Your trade buddies to keep. Yeah. Yeah. I guess you trade Mondays to keep the show interesting. I mean, hey, you want to see if I'm going to win or lose a trade. I mean, to me, that's even enough for me. Heart-pumping adrenaline. So again, what we don't want to see is I'm going to start watching that the 1 hour. The 15-minute is below the 200 moving average. It could be making a bear flag here. And we could see a dump somewhere down to about 113,008. 113.1. 113,000. We could be going lower, everybody. I'm not overly bullish right now. The bulls have to show me the bounce. I'm not trading unless the bulls bounced and put us into consolidation somewhere over here. Even make it a little smaller, but I wouldn't trade unless I saw that, or I get you an awesome bottom here with a bounce off the 200 or something. And so look, I'll erase the smaller time frame stuff. We can redraw it in 2 seconds when we get there. But we're looking for this bounce here, some type of channel. And again, not looking amazing here for Bitcoin. They stopped me out right here out of this flag. We were above the 200. It had some of the signal, but I know better. Watch them rip it back up. Watch them rip this thing now and just go, brah, right? Bitcoin attempting a bull div to bounce off the bottom trend line of the recent uptrend. Yeah, we saw that earlier, but it wasn't as strong as we wanted it to be. Tried the coffee-crusted New York strip at Connors. It's yum. Interesting, thank you. I made New York strip yesterday. I hope everyone that came over had a good time. Shout out to my man, Kevin. Can you check AERO on the 50-minute chart? Peace and love. We will. Shout out to Philip. Milo Salvic. Yeah, Milo Saljevic. Yeah. Fly me over, Sam. I'm looking after your gardens for you. Haha. Thank you, brother. God bless you. I appreciate it. Bitcoin attempting a bull div. 100% understandable. My Mudang spot bag of the green. Sold a bunch and still got a bunch. Mudang had a nice 50% pump yesterday to the upside. Let's take a look at your super chats. It's 11 o'clock. We kind of have a pretty good idea of what Bitcoin's doing. If you're new to my show, every single day from about 10:10 to 11, we go over Bitcoin in depth. We look at the weekly all the way down to the 1 hour, the 1 minute, and we find out if there's a 1 minute scalp, a 5 minute scalp. We look at every time frame and see where sometimes there's an 8 hour swing trade. Sometimes there's a 1 minute scalp. It all depends on what we're seeing. And we go from there. And then people send in super chats. So let's take a look at the super chats. Morning, Sammy. Wishing all the lifers a blessed week. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children's, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. Amazing, right? Love the energy today. Shout out to Underground Crypto. Can you look at Towns? And that's the first super chat that came in. Let's take a look at Towns. That thing got beat to the ground when I looked at it. It was a newer coin that I wanted to pay attention to, but every time I looked at it, it was down in the dumps. Let's see if it's still down in the dumps again like I last remember it. Wow, it had a bit of a bounce finally. Looks like it tried to bounce off 2 and rip all the way to 3. Almost did a double up, right? But then got sold off there with that intense pump. With small price action too. What else, right? So what is Towns? What does it do, right? Does it have a use case worth even paying attention to? Or is it just a cash grab? Is it some type of VC coin that came out that already got, early investors paid? Or is there something we should actually pay attention to? Let's take a look at Towns. $57 million market cap. It's on multiple exchanges from Binance, MEXC to Bybit and Coinbase. Towns is a protocol. I remember researching it once. So is a communication infrastructure project designed to enable developers to build real-time messaging applications. It's composed like you can create a little town, right? Towns, like this is my town. It makes sense, right? A community is a town. You create little towns, like little Telegram groups. All right. So it's how does Towns power the town ecosystem? Secures the network through proof of stake, enables protocol features and functionality, and givers hold decision-making power over the protocol evolution. More Towns grows, the more Towns strengthens the network. Interesting. So it has a good idea. It has a somewhat of a use case, but it really hasn't picked up yet. They haven't marketed it enough. I don't see enough people talking about it. It was kind of watched and looked at. Maybe it's bottomed after all the VCs and the insiders have sold, and there's a possible bounce now. You do see this beautiful uptrend on the 12-hour, and you see this. So you would look for it to kind of make some type of ascending triangle here. You would have to kind of ignore the wicks there and just act like it's back inside the pattern. I'm not a fan. I think there's better projects out there. I think there's better setups out there. But if this is your thing and you've made it your thing, you are buying closer to the discount than the premium. It's up to you. I can't force it. I can't, I don't know, man. It's a little sketchy there too with that bearish div there. And not even, looks like a fake breakout, come back inside. I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen this many times. It fakes out, comes back inside, then it goes sideways, and then it does pump to the target. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing does start to pump. It's making higher highs and higher lows. It's a good sign, up to 4 cents. I don't think I'm going to trade it, though. But God bless you. Thank you so much for that super chat. Givers gain. You didn't have to give, but you did. That will come back to you tenfold. Shout out to my people. Let's take a look at Turbo. Turbo was made by a guy, like an artist, who just organically made the coin and it exploded. He cried. He couldn't believe it. It's one of the most beautiful organic coins in the game. Really, it wasn't set up by VCs. It wasn't insider trading. It's awesome. But I feel like it had its day. Like if you got in early on Turbo, you've done your 100x already. I mean, you got in at 009. You could have sold all the way there at 1.4, burning multiple zeros. I don't know. We've watched this coin since its inception. We've traded it on and off. I'm not a fan anymore. I think it's kind of played out, but that's me. Let's take a look at the daily and the 3-day. So I gave you the backstory. It's a great coin. It's got an organic following. You know, if memes come back strong, then this will come back with the whole memeification of the market, but it is struggling and it's high risk. Right now, what it did is it broke out and it seems to be retesting this trend line. See, Bitcoin did this recently. It broke out, retested this. So you need a bounce super, super fast. If you see this lose this trend line, it could go through the gap right back down. I think this is just really high risk to be trading personally, because at any moment it has no use case. And once one person gets some fear in it and starts to dump it, the whole thing could crack, So I don't know. It is one of the stronger meme coins. So as far as meme coins go, it is strong. It has a higher low. It's potentially double bottoming here. You can see that, right? And you are technically buying the discount and not the premium. If you believe in Turbo and the community, it's a great buy. I personally don't. You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of a whim that could or could not pump. If the whole market comes back, this thing is going to pump. And you're going to see it back somewhere at 0.11. But, that depends on Bitcoin, the total market. And it's a very risky buy right now for Turbo. It is oversold on the stochastics, and that is a place where I like it. It's a double bottom. It's the lowest risk risky buy, in my humble opinion, but it's still not for me. And if you do get in right now and you ride it to the target, that looks like you're going to get about almost 190% gain. So the risk to reward is beautiful. It's high risk, but there's high reward. So that would be completely up to you. Shout out to C18497 for that super chat. Sam, can I have a long? I have a long on SWE. Little Dutchy asks, Sam, I have a long on SWE at 329. Can you explain to me your TA if you have a nice entry? I've been DCAing into SWE. So that means I've been building a bag, putting $5,000, $4,000. When the market's really dumping down, I put even more. And I believe in SWE as an ecosystem. I believe it as a project. I've also studied crypto for a long period of time, and I've watched use case coins and tokens. This has a use case. People can use it to buy memes. It's actually super fast transaction per second. It competes with Solana. It competes with some of the biggest, fastest chains in the game. It's also expanding. It got expanded into MetaMask and other places. More and more people can use it. It's a very interesting idea. All right. Now, the one thing is this. I mean, it's struggling. It definitely has this trend line that it can't seem to get back above, and it's forming this falling wedge. We could open it up a little more. There's a chance we open this a little more, and it drops down right there to 338. But I like SWE, and I say this is a buy. Anywhere between 293 and 380 really is an accumulation zone to be able to offload it somewhere between $9 and $10. So I'm long on this. I've got a huge position. I don't have a stop loss because I've been DCAing into the position for a long period of time. I'm willing to hold it for the long haul. If we get back to 226, I'll still be somewhat near break even because I bought so much of it at the lows. So we'll see what happens, right? If it comes back down here, I would maybe get out at break even and reassess. But right now, I'm still in SWE. I like where it's going, and I'm looking for this consolidation inside this tightness for a move up to 924. I would only trade SWE on the 3-day chart. I would get off the smaller time frames for now. They're manipulating price so much with Bitcoin. You can easily get stopped and wrecked. But if you have a long-term plan with the DCA, there's a good chance you can stay in the game no matter what. So that's what I do. I DCA spot in like $50,000 positions if I have to, instead of doing $10,000 at 5x leverage, because I've seen crazy moves and spikes go up and down that liquidate the whole world. Then 2 days later, we're back where we were. And if I'm trading spot, I have my entire bag where it was. Otherwise, I would have been absolutely liquidated. I don't play that leverage alt game like 99% of every other guy out here that shows his students, oh, look at all my leverage trade. They want to hype you. They want to get you excited. I only trade Bitcoin leverage. Sometimes I dabble with an altcoin like Like once or twice. It's very rare. Like 10 or 12 times a year. And every single time, I just traded Ethereum the other day. $500 in literally an hour. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not trading anything but Bitcoin on leverage. Because Bitcoin has such big movements from that 110 to 120. I have some time to breathe. I can assess the market. And even Bitcoin's volatile. But the way they move, you have to remember, Ethereum's 3,000 a coin, not 1,000, And if Ethereum's volatile, imagine trading a coin that's 50 cents, $3.50. The second you put that leverage more than 4 to 5x leverage, my God, you're playing with fire. I know you guys mitigate and do all your things. I'm an old man. I've already made it across. If I was young and I just started, I'd probably be LLMing and doing all that other stuff with you guys. I'm an old man. I've made my mills. I'm chilling now. Now I just have to not be greedy, and I'm going to make it to the top. You know what I mean? So I'm in a different place than a lot of you, but I was exactly where you were for many, many years. I worked a night shift. I wore the same jeans every single day. Do not get it twisted. Me and you were the same. Don't say, oh, he's got the Rolly now. He's got 100,000 subs. He's a different guy. No. I'm the exact same guy I was from day one, man. God is first, family is first, and money means nothing. It's just a tool. It doesn't make you the man. You can't put people down because you made some money. Just because you made 5 or 10 grand a day, you don't go putting the rest of the world down. Look at me. No. You actually give more money away because God knows how much you made that day. And you make sure that God sees how many people you take care of. If you're making a lot of money a day, between 5 and 10 can a day, and you're not giving money to other people, if you're not helping others in some way, shape, or form, God will see it. And God will know you're being greedy with your money, man. That's the one thing about accumulating a lot of wealth. God knows you're accumulating it. There's a pressure on you to deliver it to the right people at the right time. You better become a giver if you're getting gains, because that's going to propel your gains to help others over and over again. Givers gain. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house, who's taught me that oh so well by his actions and not by his words. Can you look at Palantir and CRWV? We'll look at 2 for you, but we usually don't do 2, Elliot. But because you're new, I don't remember seeing you here around the channel. I'll take a look at Palantir and CRVW for you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Let's take a look at PLTR, Palantir, one of the biggest trades for the last few years. I see Palantir continuing to rip. Last time I said they're going to print money to zero. It's in a rising wedge that wants to break up parabolically. Still looks like it could do that and do the thing. So I see this thing ripping. I'm looking for 293 to 328. And I believe that was probably your local bottom buy right there. And if it falls to NASDAQ, as I suggest it will, we're going to continue to get a bit of a pump here. Now, there's a chance this could be the right shoulder and it could dump. It's very extended. It is at a very, but look at the weekly. The weekly is reset to oversold, and you've had previous resistance as support. That tells me the people have spoken. You even defied a weekly bearish div. You had weekly bearish div, you dumped, people bought up the price. I'd watch this thing on the daily and the 3-day chart. If you want to be low risk, you put an options call after the, so here's the lowest risk play. It bounces up, it comes back down, it bounces, you put the options call right here because that gives you the high probability this flag is going to break out and it's going to be above 289 somewhere by January 2nd or 3rd on the options, right? So you can use TA to trade options. I just came up with this right now. I never even thought about it before. And I don't even trade options, but I hear so many people tell me how to do it that I've learned how to do it indirectly. You know what I mean? I just my brain actually works on stuff in my subconscious mind while I'm asleep. I half hear people talk, and then my brain, I'll literally hear half conversations while I'm at dinner. I'll put together what the people are saying. My brain will work on it at night while I'm in bed. It's nuts. The next morning, I'll know exactly what those people were talking about, but I wasn't even listening to them. It's insane. I don't know what goes on, man. So I got a weird brain, a hyperactive brain that just doesn't stop. It chews away the competition. Like, I have to win. I have to win. Like, I don't care what happens. I will go to the ends of time to win. I will sacrifice food, sleep, comfort. It does not matter. I'm going to win. No matter what, I'm going to win. Do not go against me and my team. Do not go against the crypto lifers. I warn you with 1,000% of my heart. If you're not ready to give every single thing you have down to the fingernails, man, you better get out the way because we coming, and we coming strong. You see these eyes? You see these eyes? Does this look like the eyes of someone that's going to give up for a second? No. My mom and dad are dead. I got nothing to live for but God, baby. Let's go. I see you. I hope you see me. Let's do it. So I hope I didn't scare anybody there, but that's the intensity that I bring. If you like that intensity, go to cryptolifer.com and join right now. If that made you feel, you know what, that's the person I want to be around, that's the mentor that I'm designed to be around, Go to CryptoLifer.com, get a mentor, get the education. Let's help you learn and begin to grow. Okay. Bitcoin struggling, not looking good. Let's just get rid of some of these parameters here and make it real neat. So we need this falling wedge to break up today. You see the sketchiness I'm seeing right now? Look at this. And we call this, remember, this is not this Thursday, but last Thursday night. We saw that sketchy head and shoulder. Look, that's about to dump. Bitcoin's dumping, man. I see this thing going to 113. It's telling us it wants to dump. You can see the weakness in the trades. You can see the weakness in the chart. I mean, that's a head and shoulder. You see it? Shoulder, head. It just made a right shoulder in the last 5 hours. We could have pumped, and maybe we pump. I don't know. I'm not 100%, but that looks very likely that we're going to dump. Is the 30-minute below the 200 moving average? It is. That means you're going to the 1 hour 200. And if you lose the 1 hour 200, you're likely going to go to the 2 hour 200 moving average. That's somewhere 112,000, 113K. So looks like Bitcoin may take a bit of a dip here and take out these lows. Just whoever, and more people are long than short, just so you know right now, on the liquidation heat map. They're all long. See, look at all this, Now, this does suggest, though, that they're going to short up to 117.5 before anything else. See, BOOKMAP gives me red. Everyone else looks at the heat map. The heat map will say there's more long and red, and it doesn't always do. I've seen more longs than shorts before, and Bitcoin's pumped. It doesn't mean it can't, but it just gives you, a heads up. Now, this says they're going to short squeeze us all the way up to 117.5 at 122,000. BOOKMAP's been extremely accurate. Whenever it's red, this is BOOKMAP. Link to BOOKMAP in the description. And you can see wherever the deep red is, it's telling us that's the most likely place we're going to end up in the next 1 or 2 days. And that's saying right there, 117,000 is the key area, 122,002 as well. And these are the areas that we're looking for here for Bitcoin. So you tell me, on this red day. And look, I wear red for a reason, baby. I ain't wearing red when we pumping, right? Everyone knows when Sammy's got the red tie on, it's the red day, man. I've been doing this for a long time now, right? Who knows to short when I put a red tie on in the morning? You see the red tie, you're like, oh, I'm opening up a short immediately. This guy's, I'm like subtly telling you where the market's going by the way I dress. It's insanity. Can you check AERO on the 15-minute? Hold on, let's get back into these super chats. I don't want to miss not one. So this guy asked for CRVW. Let's take a look at CRVW. So Palantir looks good to me. Looks like it's going to continue to rip. I would wait for the long right there at 177 though. This is the aggressive entry right now with a stop below 142. But Palantir does look like you're going to catch it to 289. It just does. All right. Nice bounce for Bitcoin at 114.5. That's a psychological area of support or resistance. We may be able to hold that for the day. And that's why I love to wait for the daily candle close tonight. We're going to get so much information. We're going to see who they liquidated, and it's going to clear the market out for us to give us a high probability trade. That's why I love Monday nights. Everyone else got rocked and wrecked. You see what I'm saying? Institutions that control Monday night because they took out all retail. So you hide out, wait for retail to get creamed, and then you come and take the pickings. Sometimes they're slim, sometimes they're chubby. It depends what they left us, right? But that's the case. I believe this is a stock. It's called CRWV on the NASDAQ, CRVW. Let's take a look at CRWV. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it. On the daily, it's pretty new. Looks like it came out in March, had a huge run up from 50 all the way to 185. It did more than a triple up. Then it got sold off to the 618 Fibonacci retracement. I mean, like it should have, right there to the 618. Look at that. And it double bottomed off the 618. You see that beautiful double bottom right there? I mean, that's beautiful. See how that double bottom did not get rated? I warn you not to be going after, not to think double bottoms will get rated. That double bottom went exactly where it was supposed to. It made the measured move. They did not raid the liquidity down here. Remember this when I tell you this. Double bottoms in the daily are likely to pay you. The thing is, if you think they're going to rate it all the time, you won't enter here and you won't get the probability. That's 68% of the time. So if you go after the rating, you're basically going for the 32% chance that the W is not going to play out. So you're fighting hundreds of years of TA by going after this raid. Now that doesn't mean they don't raid double bottoms. If you see a double bottom with a lower low here, right, and you haven't finished the uptrend, then they're likely going to raid. Okay. So you got to understand, there's ways to figure out whether they'll rate it or not. And it depends on kind of where it is with the moving averages too. If you got a double bottom above the 200, likely unrateable. You got a double bottom below the 200, that can get rated because your trend is now not in your favor. See, the 200 tells you where the trend is. When you're above the 200 on the smaller time frame, you're starting a new uptrend. When you're above the 200 on the 5-day, you're starting a big trend. I pointed out that 2-day buy on Bitcoin on the 200 buy when he crossed the 5-day chart. I said, you could probably get here and never look back. That still, to this day, is a stone cold trade. You can hear me saying that. That's been documented. So many calls for Bitcoin on this channel that'll blow your mind. So look, we got this broadening falling wedge here for CRVW. And honestly, I see this as support of resistance. I see this as a bit of a support of resistance too. Let's zoom in here. The daily's a little overbought, and we're away for the 21. So a couple things are possible here. One, we broke out already. Actually, I like this. Breakout, fake out, back inside the pattern. Breakout. So look, we did break out. I'm going, because look, when you hit 1, 2, whenever you're dealing with, all right, people don't believe in patterns because most people don't do patterns consistently. You watch one guy and he's going to show you the pattern here, another guy here, and then you're going to say patterns don't work. Both people had different patterns. Didn't make sense. You got to find a guy that has the exact same consistent way he makes his patterns. I make my patterns based on candle bodies. I never use wicks. So that means where the candle bodies touch, that's a pattern. So look, we have basically 1, 2 touches there. And then if I bring it lower, it almost looks like that's a bullish retest there. You see? Resistance, 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 bullish retest, bounce. I'll take that and also take this. Why I wouldn't do this? Because this, I don't know, you kind of connect from, I mean, you take it, but you can see this is clearly the trend that broke out. After years of doing this, I know that this is not the trend line. This is the trend line. And I can say it with 100% validation. How? Why? You just start to understand. You get trader instincts. So now what? Well, we look at the daily on this asset, and you're going to want to start waiting for the daily to come to the 21. Very simple. This looks a little similar to Bitcoin right now. I don't know if this holds Bitcoin or does something with Bitcoin. It looks like it does because it kind of has that inverted head and shoulder Bitcoin was in. It's away from the 21 on the daily. So this needs to reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can hold shift and go sideways once you're in the plus sign. And it says, you got about, I don't know, somewhere between, I'd say 8 and 10 days of consolidation. And then this thing could rip to the upside. So I'd wait for it to go sideways. I'd wait for the 21 to cross. I'd wait for the stochastics to reset. So I'd wait 5 or 6 days for this to occur. And then boom. That's your next move, somewhere up to 150. I see it's in a bullish uptrend. It broke the downtrend. It's on the way to the upside. You just got to find either the sideways platform to get into or the higher low. Yeah, thank you for giving me that. I haven't gone over a stock like that in a long time. And it shows you that you could trade anything in the world. What I teach you, stocks, crypto, Forex, it does not matter. Next day cut on the NASDAQ. Please, this guy wants the next decade on the NASDAQ. I mean, I see the NASDAQ absolutely ripping. We're still in a NASDAQ trade right now that's tearing faces off. It did dip out the flag. It's the Monday shorts. They did a Monday stop hunt right there. But they didn't break the lower low. But they did do a Monday stop hunt. That thing would have been so much better had it just stayed in pump. And again, I solidified 530 on the day. We're going to take 530 no matter what today on the trade. We did lose that, 180 on Bitcoin, so we're only going to take about 300. But that's all right. My NASDAQ trade paid for my risk on Bitcoin. And I'm still up on the day. You can see I'm still green when those two trades are combined. So you can't say Sammy ain't in the green, no matter what you want to say. All right. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Crypto Bubbles shows you everything at a glance. EHEX is actually up on the week, which is interesting. PDI looks like it had bottomed. Zora back up. Zora could have bottomed. We're going to take a look at that. But really, altcoins are struggling today because Bitcoin isn't doing amazing. Only Zora really up 18% after the low bounce. So I'd be careful with your altcoins today. Great day to accumulate on the lows, but not a great day to possibly be swing trading altcoins, in my humblest of opinions. Opinions. Why does Alex Becker say opinion? It's opinion, Alex. It's not opinion. He speaks funny, man, sometimes. I have nothing against him. He's self-made multimillionaire. Yeah, he ish posts on Twitter for a living, and it's a joke, and it's funny. And you got to understand his jokes. I wish I could ish post on Twitter too, but my team won't let me, you know what I mean? I got some funny ones, man. I can't be who I really want to be on Twitter. Isn't that sad? Because it's not good for the business algo. But who I am on Twitter sometimes gets more views than the business algo, and I'm split in between. One day I'll be free, right? One day I'll be free. One day I'll be free. No, but one day we'll have a business Twitter and my Twitter, and I'll be able to do me, you know what I mean? But right now, I represent the business is doing well. If I throw a lot of my own stuff in there, you know what I mean? Like right now, I want to help as many people learn T as possible. If you knew something about me that threw you off, like I'm going to do it really easy. You're a diehard Yankee fan. You will not learn from a Red Sox fan. You find out I'm a Red Sox fan, you don't want anything to do with me. This is a joke, but I'm saying it could happen. I'm using this as a metaphor. So the more people learn about me, the more they may not want to learn. So, you know what I mean? But I want to share my life, and I want to start kind of getting out there as an online personality. So we'll figure it out. It'll happen in good time. God will have it all planned the way it's supposed to be. Can Bitcoin double bottom here? It looks like it's trying very hard. 114,005, a psychological area of support or resistance. Put in that bottom of the daily. Show me some levels. We'll make that trade later on today with swinging colors. BOOKMAP, which is 90% accurate, says we are not dumping. Says we are going to liquidate 117,000 and then possibly go to 122.5 on our way to a new all-time high. So BOOKMAP suggests that we're going to crush it. But it may take a few days. That doesn't mean it's happening immediately. It's not like, oh, today thing. It means, we got to wait our turn. Okay, moving through these super chats. We have a lot today. We got Brett on the low time frames right now. Booming. Let's take a look at Brett from Chris, CGTV. Thank you so much. And more super chats coming our way. We're going to get to every single one of them. Overall lost on Monday trades. Paying forward. God bless. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Mr. J. Thank you. Motivation alone is not enough. If you have an idiot and you motivate him, now you have a motivated idiot. Jim Rohn. 100%, right? Yeah, you have to have direction. You have to have a goal. You have to have a plan. And then you can, Yeah, motivation is simply gas to the car. But where is the car going? 100%. Shout out to Underground Crypto, man. Dude, the fact that you're listening to Jim Rohn every day and putting out these quotes, it's going to change your mind like mine. You're going to get rich, bro. Because you're making your mind rich now. And once your mind is rich, you will not accept your old life anymore. The things that you let slide before, you won't let slide anymore because you now have a Jim Rohn brain. And a Jim Rohn brain does not accept the mediocre. The Sam Price brain does not accept the everyday. The Crypto Lifer brain says, no, I'm going to do something so different than everyone else I've ever seen in my neighborhood, in my town. I'm going to change the world. How many people that grew up with me in my town have a YouTube channel right now with 100,000 subs? Probably very little, right? Whatever, I'm blowing up. Yeah, look at me again. But I have nothing else to talk about but what I've done, right? I mean, I can't talk about other people's accomplishments because I didn't do them, right? But if I talk about mine, I can say you can too, and I want you to believe that you can. Let's take a look here at, let's look at our next super chat here. So we looked at Towns, we looked at Turbo, Brett on the lower time frames, and then Crypto Billy. Sam is proof of work. Sam Price is proof of work, more than a trader. Teaching you how to win in life. The Lifer. Love you, Sammy. God bless you, man. Thank you for the 99. You didn't have to give like that, but you did. That will come back to you tenfold. You're getting it. Someone's going to send you a G, bro. You're about to get a call for a big job. Commission is flowing to you right now as we speak. The fact that you're giving like that. And look at the NASDAQ. We called this NASDAQ trade for you. We told you it was going to pump. We gave you the support of resistance. I went over it every single week on the macro analysis video. And if you took the trade with me, you're in the money. And I showed the live trade too as well. That's booming to the upside. It is what it is. And I don't trade. I just started trading the NASDAQ like 4 or 5 months ago to teach my students that I could take the exact same things I teach. I trade Bitcoin and trade the NASDAQ. It's awesome. I can show you how to trade any asset in the world. I know it for a fact. I've taught so many people how to trade. It's insane. At this point, I'm very confident in my teaching skills. I've had way too many testimonials from all walks. People from all walks of life have said, Sam, man, you taught me how to trade. Smart traders that have traded for 15 years said you filled in some dots for me. Guys that knew their stuff really well said you even helped me. And then beginners said I've changed their lives. People have said I helped them make their first million ever. It's been an amazing journey, everybody. Just become part of the journey. Don't fight it. So we got Brett on base. All right. We got Brett on base. I still hold my Brett. We got in dang early. All right. Brett just looks like every other coin right now that we talked about. It has that cup and handle with the Adam and Eve. And it's just only a matter of time till it can break out back to the upside, right? Brett. I want to look at it on CoinX too. It's got a nicer chart there. Yeah. So this is what I'm looking at for Brett here. And I believe it's only a matter of time. It's going to break out, and I still hold it. But man, waiting on these meme coins has been tough. So it hasn't been the greatest strategy. It's been taking way too long, and it's hurt a lot of people because their patience hasn't been thick enough for them to stay inside the trade, which is what it is. Right? I've learned how to have this patience over time, everyone. I wasn't built with it. I went through so many markets that ripped me up and chewed my heart out, and now I'm a stronger trader. I've gone through everything you've gone through times 10. Remember, every single winner you've ever met has lost way more times than everyone who's ever lost. People that didn't win just basically didn't lose as much. I've lost more than everybody else, probably lost more than everybody else here. I probably lost more money than everybody else here on this entire channel. I'm probably one of the biggest losers you've ever met here. Seriously, that's why I'm the biggest winner. And I never stopped. I lost and lost and lost. Most people would have said, this is insane how much I've lost. They would have walked away. After the second time you lost $500,000, you would have walked away, right? I was depressed. I got out of the rat race twice. One time I turned 80 grand into 80,000. I turned 80 grand into 800 grand. Another time I turned it into about 100 grand, about $1 million. Both times I watched my account go all the way back down to about 180. The second time down to like 90,000 from 800 grand. If I had sold everything, I was basically a millionaire, would have paid the taxes and had money to buy back all the altcoins on the lows. And I sat there saying this to myself day in and day out, man. You have no idea how much torture I've been through. Mental pain like you've never believed. I've been on a night shift all alone. I don't want to call my mom and dad. I've lost hundreds of thousands. I don't want to call my friends. I feel like a loser. I don't want to tell my wife because she thinks I suck because I've lost all the money. I don't want to tell my sister, my family, and friends. I'm alone on that night shift thinking about how much money I've lost with not one person to tell. Because no one wants to hear my sob story, man. A couple friends I was able to say after years later, I said, man, I lost tons of money, man. But then I learned about all the richest people in the world. They all have the same story as mine. They lost so much. What the heck kept them going? The energy, the belief, the faith, right? So I like Brett right here with the stop loss below, honestly below the low, below 3333390. And I'm holding Brett till we get back to 11 cents and 19 cents. Back to that high, baby. I got a Brett down here, so I'm a little bit above where I got in, but dang, taken forever. It's taken forever. It really is. A decade on the NASDAQ. I mean, I don't know if I can give you the next decade on the NASDAQ. I think you're joking, right? I wouldn't be able to tell you the next decade. I will say this, though. I mean, that's a nice leg. The last time we had a leg like that, we actually did do the leg after the retracement. Like, we took a leg pretty nicely up there. And this looks like it may not retrace. Let's see what this gives us. I mean, I got us to October of 2026. We're pumping to 37,000. I mean, if they cut the rates and they send all this money into the market, it looks like we're just going to get another huge run up. The dollar collapses, we run to 38,000. I don't see any other way here, right? The NASDAQ, man. Wow. I don't know if I could give you the next 10 years. Then we pull back to a 618 fib. Maybe even a 786 dumpage. And then we get our, the hidden bullish. We get our revision. They print. I can get you to about, 2028? I don't even, the dates start to fall off. 2027, 28, 29. I mean, that's probably 29 or 30. I can get you the next 5 years. Looks like we could pump to 50,000. It's going to be a nasty crash, though. September of 2026, it looks like. Or I don't know exactly when, but somewhere here, somewhere May or March of 2026. And we're going to crash all the way down into August. And then we'll rebuild and probably pump again September, October, November, like we do every single year. But, that's huge speculation on the NASDAQ. Right? It's like so much can change between now and then that will change the probability. Right? So it's not your best to do that based on TA. Well, we can tweak it as we go. Okay. Can you take a look at AERO? So we looked at Brett. Sam Price, proof of work, Crypto Billy. Thank you. Can you look at AERO on the 15-minute chart? Peace and love. Let's take a look at AERO on the 15-minute. I like AERO. It's one of my big holders. Everybody knows I like my AERO. So it's doing similar to what Bitcoin's doing. Last time I showed you, I said shoulder head. Can we get that right shoulder? It slumped a little further down, but stayed on the trajectory. Okay. So it could make the shoulder head and right shoulder there. Still looking decent to me for the pump. And I see it headed to 246. I believe this is a buy right now. All right. Daily's a little overbought, but I believe this is a buy right now. I like where the MACD is. I love everything right now. And I'm just looking for this to kind of come up and get tight and then break on out to the upside. So this looks bullish to me. I believe that's a buy with a stop loss below 85. And you could get it all the way to 256. So I like an entry right now on AERO on the daily time frame. You could use the smaller time frames to look for less drawdown, 100%. And nothing's guaranteed. Maybe you do get stopped out. You never know. But I like this trade on AERO. And we've hit almost most of the, I think about 90% of the trades I put out on AERO have hit. And so the liquidity is there. The use case is there. Your utility is there. Coinbase is hot. It's base chain. You put 2 and 2 together. For me, it's a no-brainer. Aerodrone, right? Can you look at Circle USDC on the stock market? The ticker is CRCL. Let's take a look at Circle Internet Group. Wow, Circle got pounded? Hold on. Is that really the same Circle? It is Circle Internet Group, right? That's them on the New York Stock Exchange, right? So Circle came out in June, pumped all the way up to 283, double top there, dumped down. You can see it's a 786 fib retracement. Just, I don't even need, right there, I could tell by looking at it. Your mind's, and look, I've been studying these. These are slanted Adam and Eves that actually eventually break to the upside, you see? So that's a falling wedge that could break to the upside. I like what I'm seeing. I'm a mad scientist. You're going to get things here on this channel you won't get from any other technical analyst because I created my own science with the science. Just like Jimi Hendrix played the guitar upside down. He didn't play it like everybody else, but he learned how to play like they did, but he did it his own way. I'm the Jimi Hendrix of trading, okay? I put the car upside down. I trade it opposite. Look, we flipped the chart upside down just like Jimi Hendrix did with the guitar, all right? They call me the Jimi Hendrix of trading, the John Madden of technical analysis, okay? I give you the play-by-play every single day without a day off. Look, inverted head and shoulder here looking beautiful. A little overbought, but just can you get the movement? This looks bullish to me. I see a higher low getting put in the bigger time frames, and I see this creating its new uptrend. It's going to take some time. I don't know if this is the exact entry right now, but I do like it with a stop below the lows. And I see this headed to the first target at 210 and then all the way to the beginning of the wedge at 262. I'm bullish on this over time. Circle. Yeah. Wow, so many super chats. You people are amazing. It reminds me of a bull run. Overall, lost all but 8 trades. Paid for. God bless. Thank you. Motivation alone is not enough. If you have an idiot and you motivate him, you now have a motivated idiot. Interesting. Shout out to BBY, please. Formerly T0. Heal up. Thank you so much, man. Let's take a look at BBY or BBBY. Formerly T0. Funny, I thought Bed Bath & Beyond was done. I thought they went out of business. I thought it was Bloodbath & Beyond, right? That was a copyright. I think that was one of his albums. I don't know what's happening. Are they getting rebought or something? I thought they went out of business. How is the stock still here? This looks like it's going to pump. Looks like Bed Bath & Beyond is about to go on a tear back up to $20. I see 100% gains coming out of Bed Bath & Beyond. BBY, formerly T0. T0 is so whack, man. I remember that coin being shilled on my channel by shills. Like, you know what I mean? BBY, is this it here? Bobby Haley? I don't know, man. No, this is Bed Bath & Beyond yet again. I don't know what's up. Stock ticker symbol next. Sorry about that. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. What is T0? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to do my own research at another time. I'm having trouble finding out what that is. Doesn't mean I can't find it, but right now it's tougher than most. Maybe you want it here. Let me see, BBY. I keep getting Bed Bath & Beyond every time I do this, man. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's take a look at Next, NEXT. Nice bounce for Bitcoin. I love it. Bitcoin getting the bounce. Let's take a look here. I'm telling you, man, 114.5 is a psychological support of resistance. I'm just going to let this thing play out throughout the afternoon, and then we're going to make our trades later tonight. I'm not going to get crazy on it. Again, mental capital, sitting there battling the charts when it's just like absolute insanity. It's not good for you either. I do it all the time, don't get me wrong, but I know when to lay off and when to come back, right? Next on the stock market, which is Next Decade Corporation. Got a nice name. Took a nasty short squeeze this morning to take everybody out of the longs or the last 5 or 6 days. That's a nasty number. Let's take a look at the weekly here on Next. So Next came out, had a bit of a rounded bottom. See this shoulder, head, bit of a right shoulder. It made the pattern that I'm looking Bitcoin to make right now. See, I'm looking for Bitcoin to make this kind of like rounded ascending triangle with the multiple inverted head and shoulder type of vibe. It did a fake out breakout, got back inside the pattern. I love these. Usually you're going to continue to pump once you consolidate. So just wait for this to consolidate a little bit, and I see it bouncing back up. Headed to 1761 is my target for Next. That's on the stock market. It's getting oversold. Look for the bounce. Consolidation. Entry here. Stop loss below the point of control, below 440, and ride that puppy to 1755 if it fits your educational style. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do is financial advice. This is just my life. And, I'm a guy that loves to do this and wear a suit and tie every day. All right. I like to look nice. All the other YouTubers don't do it, so I like to do it. Man, you guys told me about Avantis on the stream the other day. You said it's hot. You should get into it. You guys put it on our radar. I did a little bit of thing here. It was a brand new coin. I said, maybe it's new and it could pump. Wow, Avantis went from 24 cents all the way to a high of 159. It basically did a 7x, a 6.5x or something. Now it's booming. And again, I missed out on this. I'm not ready yet for all coins are ripping, and I'm just not ready. I don't believe in it just yet. But wow, it did all my things that I go for. There's your flag. Then you see here's this flag here too. And wow, it made the measured moves of the flag like it was supposed to. Now it's back to this. It's hard to tell what a coin is this new when it's ripping like this. It could bounce from here and start to pump. It doesn't have a lot of sell pressure because, right, it's just got a lot of newbies. I do look at the daily. The daily doesn't have much, 12-hour. You want to see the time frame that makes the most sense away from the 21. The 4 hour is pretty far from the 21-day moving average, but, I would use the 1 hour. Even this, now you have the 200 moving average. So, I would pull a fib here. I'd look for it to bounce off the 618 or the 786. And if it does bounce, I'd start looking for maybe a possible bigger flag, right? And then I'd take that flag to the upside. Hard to tell when something pumps this fast, this hard, but man, you guys gave it to me. You put it on the radar on the live stream. One of you guys knew this thing was going to rip. Avantis. Who gave us Avantis and why? I'd like you to tell us why so we can follow your ideas next time. Where did you learn about it? How did you know about it? Because someone told us about Avantis on the show, and now look, it's up huge. My show is not only about me. You're going to have people that pass through the show because I'm consistent. They're going to give you amazing calls. So show up to the show every day. Even I get calls from the show. I'm telling you right now, the show has given me, I've made tons of money off the show alone, not even my own calls, other people's calls on the show. They give me stuff, I research it, the TA plays out. We have thousands of people on the show every day that show up. So that's a lot of eyes on the market. This show alone, because I'm consistent, is its own resource. You see, the show created its own value without just by me showing up every day, because people show up every day here and they give us awesome stuff. If you're serious about crypto, you should be here on the show. Anyone that's serious about crypto has watched my show a couple times at least. You're not a crypto lifer if you've never seen the Crypto Lifer show. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. How do you not know me, huh? The guy I live stream more than any other crypto YouTuber in the entire space, and I can say that for a fact, hands down. I live stream more than almost anyone in the entire world. In the last 4 years, you either live streamed as much as me or you didn't in the entire world. Like, there's no one that live streamed more than me in the entire world, man. In the entire world. Let's go. We're going for the Guinness Book of World Records, man. We're going to make it all the way to the top. So I like this Avantis. I'd look for it to bounce and consolidate. Hey, there's no reason to stop the uptrend. This thing is ripping. And with a little sell-off. And that's a healthy sell-off, too. Bitcoin holding 114.5, but really playing with this 14.550 area. You can see sideways chop all day, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get it for 3 days straight. And now we got 2 more super chats coming in there. Can we look at Pole, which is Matic, and we can look at WFLI, World Liberty Finance. And those are 2 great, awesome super chats. We also Mr. Flawless. He sent 1 Crypto Lifer gift membership. You didn't have to do that, but you did. May God bless you. Thank you so much. Let's take a look at Pole, POL USDT here, which is Polygon Matic. Wow. This is a vicious game. Look, so I was looking at Matic recently, and I was like, it looks interesting here. I said I could see it get a bit of a bounce, but it pumped and dumped. And the liquidity is just not there for the altcoins, and people are still sketched out by Bitcoin. It's pretty weird, man. I wouldn't be trading Matic anyway. I hold it from long ago, but I wouldn't be trading this thing. I would not. It does look like you may be able to keep your stop loss below this point of control and still win the trade, but I don't know, man. It looks sketchy to me. I guess you just need, it's an SR flip. You just want to see that you can flip this. But look, a fake out, breakout, then back inside. I don't know. I need it to bounce and then make like some type of inverted head and shoulder or something. High risk entry right now for Matic. If the whole market rips, it rips. It's one of, some coins, the whole market has to rip for them to rip. Everything like this isn't SWE. This isn't SOL. This doesn't have its own beautiful uptrend. It isn't back above previous big highs. It's still down in the dumps. It did get back above this resistance, so be it. It got back above 26 cents. That's a big deal. But it's now retesting. It has an uptrend. It's not all bad. It has an uptrend. It's above the 221. The daily looks okay. Right? You just might get stop hunted before the bigger pump. This is not... Can we look at WLFI? Let's take a look at World Liberty Finance here. And it's also on MEXC. Last time I looked at it, I said it was in this bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom here. And it could break out. A lot of times, these are making these little flags too. I got faith this thing could pump to the upside. It looks like it has bottomed. So we have the Adam and Eve double bottom there. Almost like a cup with a handle there too as well. And then an uptrend. So I bought in, remember, at about this price. I have a small position in at right now. I waited for it to dump first. And then when I found a somewhat of a bottom, I bought in. It went a little lower, and then I'm kind of right at break even. I see this thing going to 30 cents over time. It's an ecosystem. People believe in it, and all the early sellers have sold it off. Now it's only new speculation and the market. And those two things could produce a Trump-backed coin somewhere to 30 cents, in my humble opinion. If you didn't know, this is backed by the Trump family, World Liberty Finance. They created it, so, hey. Let's take a look at pump.fun here on Coinbase for the dollar, which actually has been having a massive rip to the upside since 2 cents. It's up 4x. Pump.fun. You knew not to buy it at the beginning. It got sold off, but once it retraced for the bottom, look, it made a double bottom. Higher low, cup and handle, and then it was gone, baby, gone. I never really liked looking at it, so I haven't paid much attention to pump. I mean, that was a beautiful bull pennant, though, on the 21-day moving average, saying you're going up and up and up and up and up. So now what? Do you sell pump? If you're in it, what would you do? I would be taking profits. I mean, a straight up line like that usually is unsustainable. Yeah, look at the 3-day chart. I mean, in the last 10 days, it just went on a massive tear. I wouldn't be surprised if someone just ran it up. So I'd pull a fib from this impulse here, and I'd be looking for one of two things: sideways price action, which would tell me we can make a massive trade on that swing. Like if this goes sideways, that's a massive swing, or downward back to the 618. Both of these areas are my entry zones. Right here. Wing, 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 wing. Right there. I held shift twice. I didn't need that. Those are both my entries. And see, I don't care what it does. I know where to enter no matter what it does. If it does this, we enter the trade here. If it does this, we enter the trade here. Pretty simple stuff here for pump.fun. I put 2 alerts and I know exactly how to trade it and how. I figured out these quantum ways to trade coins. I thought it through in a way I think a lot of other people never thought it through. And I said, if I, and I'm a master of thought. Like I sit inside the tight details and I go all the ways I could win. If I was a detective, man, I think I'd be a great detective. I know I would be, man. I'd cross-reference details, I'd outlook, and I'd also say, am I wrong? And look for some other party of opinion, just in case, right? You can't block yourself in with your own thinking. Then you're never going to know the truth. So pump.fun looks interesting to me. Thank you for all the super chats. You people are unbelievable. Mike, man, coming on in. Michael Reinhardt. Mike, God bless you, brother. ETH looked to be forming a nice ascending triangle on the daily. Yeah, Ethereum looks bullish to me. Last night we talked about ETH. Let me show you what I see happening for Ethereum. I have a trade for ETH open right now on Weeks. All right? And it's been open for a long, long time. Wait, my trade's not... Wait. Did I take profit on my ETH trade? Why? I did. I just moved my stop loss to break even and made $30 on ETH. What the heck was I thinking? Oh, yeah, that was the ETH trade. Craziness. Anyway, let's take a look at Ethereum. So I was looking for this bounce. We did get it. Oh, yeah, I did. I sold the E trade. We were away from the 21. I figured, why not, right? So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking for this. Yeah, I think you said ascending triangle. Is that what you said? Yeah, an ascending. It's more like a symmetrical because you don't have the flat top. And what looks, it could be a shoulder ahead, a right shoulder too. Always be ready for the Black Swan event, folks. Look at the Stokes resetting. That says ETH could come down, wick back inside. Just looks like ETH has a few days of down coming its way. I got to be honest with you. I don't see a pump for ETH, at least not for a couple days. It formed a tweezer top. It's had two red candles in a row, coming back down to a higher low support. And the stochastics say it has way more momentum to the downside. I wouldn't touch ETH right now. I'd wait for those daily Stokes to reset. It is forming an inverted head and shoulder here on the 1 minute time frame, attempting to get back in good graces, but that, now you need to see that thing pump. So it has Adam and Eve vibes. You see it? Could be a nice recovery pump back up to 4,500 though. Looks like it's about to do it in juice. Again, it's been a typical Monday, man, of crazy price action back and forth. Everyone, your super chats help this stream just absolutely fly by. Like it's 11:54. I just started talking. How the heck did we do 2 hours? Is that? I just looked at the time. I thought it was 11:15. How is it 11:54? How? How do we just rip through an hour and 40 minutes, man? I know I started 10:10, so it was an hour and 54, an hour and 44. What do you think about the bearish divergence on the weekly time frame? You think it indicates another strong pump and then dump next month? I've already addressed that many times. We wouldn't have pumped the two candles right now. It's already been negated at this point. But it could still say it's the top. In my honest opinion, Ethereum is not going up anytime soon. Guillermo Muck, the bear. Muck the bear. No, you just told me you were the biggest bear mostly. No, I love you, man. I agree with you, man. It doesn't look like it's amazing. Not right now. It may be 10 days it might be on a pump, though. Shout out to Double Dare You. He double dares me. Already got stopped out. No more Mondays. Yes, stay away from Mondays. Learn the lesson that I teach you. Mondays are treachery. All right? Be very careful on a Monday. Monday. Ethereum is cooked. I don't see it going up anytime soon. Shout out to Guillermo Muck. He wrote it, and he also wanted to send in a super chat just to let you know how bearish he was on ETH. He said, I am a bear on ETH. It is what it is. Shout out to anyone that gave super chat. You see the balls moving around in the jar, man? Thank you so much for moving the balls in the jar. Maybe I get a sip of that jar. Oh, yeah, I got to put it in front to get the sip, though. Now I got to move it all the way to the front. Hold on. I'll move it up there. You ain't going to play me over here. Yeah, the jar should be the number one thing yeah. Thank you guys so much. If we could change the jar, it could look different. You could turn it into, like, should we do this glass? Do you guys like the martini glass? You know what I mean? I'm not a drinker, though, so I kind of like that thick glass. This one's kind of cool. Like the colander. You know what I mean? The mug, though, the cup and handle, right? Let's do the cup and handle, because it's got a cup and a handle, right? It just takes up more space now. But we do have a cup and handle. What do you guys think? Changing it up on the fly. Cookie Dow, please. Thank you, Sam. I still have my Cookie Dow stake, too, so when it comes back, I will have access to the information that Cookie Dow provides. That inverted head and shoulder moving up. Bitcoin getting back above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. Let me delete all this stuff. It's insanity. Yeah, back above the 200. I mean, and we try to play the first signal. I lost it. I got my signal again. Now it's the 21 above the 200 moving average. That is supposed to pump. Technically, if I get in this trade, this should pump Monday or whenever day. It doesn't matter. And it's kind of got a giant double bottom here now. So this started the entire show, right? We started right here with the Adam and Eve double bottom, and we found the flag. But that's a double bottom that wants to break out somewhere to the measured move. Neckline right there. Yeah, up to about, 115,572 for Bitcoin. Make it a 32-ounce thirst buster, man. Hey. You guys are funny, man. Let me get a big gulp over here. I have to actually make it a little smaller since it's bigger now, right? There you go. I might flip it back. Shout out to everybody. Another thing that's weird, how come we only have 1,280 people here on the stream? How come like 300 people, 500 people decide to leave between 11:45 and 12? It's like, I can do the super chats later. I guess they get out of lunch or something, or they think, this is going to be the best time to watch the trade. I would never leave. I love that I never miss the stream. I get all 100% of it. See, everyone else, they take a piece, but I get everything. I get all the super chats. I get everything everybody said. I get all the insight. I don't miss one part of the stream, man. Everyone else picks their piece, right? It says the average viewer is a 20 to 30 minute watcher, even though it's a 2-hour show. I'm getting more info than everybody else, man, because I don't miss. I know some people that say they also don't miss with me. I'll tell you right now, the 1 hour looks like it's tweezer bottoming back to the upside. I'm going to do something kind of interesting right now. Look at the 1 hour time frame. It's a good chance this falling wedge breaks out. So look, if you're trading the bigger time frames, you can do this. Now, it's not amazing. Remember, make this big here. This is looking like a tweezer bottom on the 1 hour. It's looking like we definitely are bottoming out here on the 1 hour time frame. I'm starting to warm up to this trade here. It's a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. Let's see. The target would take me to 118, 089. I just multiple tweezer bottom buys there. That's interesting. 113, 756. The sad thing is, because it's a bigger trade, I'd almost have to risk more because I only make $1,100 when we get to 117,000. But oh well. I mean, it's all right. You don't just walk in the studio when I'm not done. You don't walk in the studio. I know. I mean, please. Yeah, for now on, you're distracting me. No. You never tell me what I'm doing. My wife put her time in like this. I told her, no, I'm the CEO. You don't ever come in during my stream. I got to check, man. I got to check the whole family, man. I'm live streaming. Like, my dedication is to you guys. I love my wife, but don't get in the middle of me while I'm grinding. All right? Like, I was about to make a live trade. She got on my head. I didn't even know what I was thinking. I could have just missed a beautiful entry. I tell her, man, don't mess with me when I'm trading. I have to have long talks with her all the time about this. I have to say it's not about you at that moment. You got to give me my space and time. You know what I mean? But it's okay. Living with a trader is not easy. Because we at any moment, we're like doctors. At any moment, we're running towards something. Oh, we got to get it. I'm going to take this trade. I'm going to risk what I made on the NASDAQ today. I'm going to put a stop loss below the 200 moving average. Very high risk trade, though. Again, I'll break even today if I lose. So I won't even lose money today if I lose this trade. I wouldn't take this trade if I were you. I'd wait for my better parameters later on today. I'm just high risk. Yeah, red light on, no entry, 100%. Yeah. She thinks at 12 o'clock she can walk in the studio, but what if the stream ain't over yet? You know what I mean? It's not you, it's me, 100%. Someone wrote Bitcoin greater than the white. No. Hey, Sammy, I hear you mention it every stream. What exactly is a tweezer bottom top? It's when you have two candles that close right next to each other with two wicks. Preferably a green and a red one right here. That's a tweezer bottom. That red candle closed with the green candle next to it. There's two wicks next. They look like tweezers, right? That's a tweezer top. That's a tweezer top. That's a tweezer top. That's a tweezer bottom. That's a tweezer bottom. All right. And now it looks weird, man. Now it looks like a head and shoulder. Let's go back to that 1 minute. 1 minute can stay. If the 1 minute can stay above the 200 moving average, I have a chance to win this trade. But we got to get this here. We cannot go right back below the 200. So we got to get ourselves a bit of a bounce here. We got to stay above the 200 moving average. All the 1 minute time frame for my trade to play out. Sammy, big fan from Indonesia over here. Could you take a look at Crow, please? God bless. Thank you so much. God bless you, Jojana. Joe Jonah. Thank you so much, Joe Jonah. All right. The NASDAQ funding my risky business trade, my risky Bitcoin trades. Hey, Sam, big fun from Indonesia. Hey, can you look at Crow? We'll take a look at Crow. And I want to make sure I didn't miss any other super chats. Monday, always reverse, end of day, almost every single time. I'm about to just cut this trade off. Wait for better parameters. I like that 1 hour, though. Look, it tweezer bottom, like basically 1, 2, 3 candles there. You're going to go after the wicks now? It's unlikely, but dang. It does have this shoulder, head right shoulder vibe, too. I can't stand Mondays, man, when it comes to trading. I should have sat here and traded nothing at all, but how boring is that? You know what I mean? Someone says we're dumping to 113.7. Hey, it's possible. That is the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. And that would be very, very likely. All right. I'm risking that DAC to 100. I'll still be up on the day if I lose now. I'm not risking more. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Yeah. ONDO analysis. Let's go through all the super chats here. Make sure we never miss one. I do it every time, so you can't say I missed one because I haven't stopped the show yet. You can only say I missed one if I stop the show. If you tell me I missed one, the show's over. You're a liar, and I don't want you to be a liar, so don't lie. Watch your mouth out there. And I did say it. I'm sorry. I'm sharp with the tongue. It is what it is. I'm out here every day. Bitcoin dominance attempting to recover. Cookie Dow, please. Thanks, Sam. Let's look at Cookie Dow, ONDO, and Crow. And then I got to jump out of here. No more super chat, please. Please. $300 in chat revenue, or how much was it? 308. You people are unbelievable. That's insane. That's bull run money right there. So let's take a look at Cookie Dow on Mexi. This thing took a pounding with the virtual ecosystem. Anything to do with virtual and AI agents just disappeared off the face of the earth. And everybody just sold it off like it was nothing. I believe it's a beautiful ecosystem. It's like a car that just got put aside. They're fixing it. Once the car gets fixed, it's right back on the road. It can put 100,000 miles on it again. It's a good working car. It just needs to be tweaked. Cookie Dow is a great utility, and so is virtuals. I say it's only a matter of time. I say in 3 weeks, this thing could be back up to 40 cents. And everyone was like, I told you so. I'm holding my Cookie. I would not get rid of virtual and Cookie. I think it's a dumb idea to sell those things. I think all those people that sold off are going to regret it in the long term. Let's take a look at ONDO and see what's happening to ONDO. On MEXC. ONDO, a long-term hold, right? And I just see it consolidating and eventually breaking out. Does look like it's going to come down and test 96 one more time and just finally stay above the dollar. It's taking forever. Where is it going to go? I don't know. Everyone says ONDO's the best thing, all the money, but the chart says we can barely get to $2 in a few months. I don't know. So I hold it. I have a big old bag, but I mean, do I sell it 2 or 4? I don't know how big it's going to get. You know, maybe we'll get surprised, but right now I just don't see it. Let's take a look at Kronos on MEXC. Kronos is hot. It came back down to the 618 Fibonacci. That's an area you definitely, if you weren't in, an area of retracement, an area to maybe possibly being another swing bag. I see it getting ready. It could wick to the 786 at 19. I think anywhere between 19 and 22 is the buy. And then it's going to eventually rip back up to 51 cents. It's got the ecosystem. It's got the project. It's got the buying. It's got the volume. It's got the connections. It's been around a long time. Like, come on. Like, it's got everything you need. It's got all the intangibles and the tangibles. It can go to 51 cents pretty swiftly. This is probably a great area to be accumulating. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to figure out that for yourself. I personally don't hold any Crow, and it doesn't matter to me what it does. Everybody, I love you. I thank you so much for supporting me every single day. I don't know how God provided such a beautiful life for me, but he did. I'd never work for someone else again for the rest of my life as long as I stay motivated and produce my show, push my trading group to the highest levels of life, and help everybody around me. Thank you, dear Lord, for everyone here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for every single person that supports me, comments, and shows up. We'll see what happens to this trade later on. Looks like it may get stopped out here too. It's a tough Monday. I don't like trading Mondays. I risk very small amounts, 100 for 300, 200 for 6. I'm not going to be trading my $300, $400,000 trades. It's just very, very rare. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you guys on the next live stream. Stay amazing. Stay blessed. Remember, everything starts at the beginning. Tom Brady first threw a ball. One day he threw a ball. Michael Phelps jumped into the pool and started swimming. Everybody started. The greatest people that have done the greatest things in their lives, they started somewhere. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you so much for being here and pushing each and every one of you to your limit, pushing me to my limit. If you guys show up every day, you make me go hard. When I know there's thousands of people waiting for me on that live stream, I'm suiting up and I'm showing up. So thank you for showing up. You give me a purpose and a place to be. I'm so grateful for that every single day. Thank you for YouTube and the algorithm. Thank you for all the things, Google, all the awesome opportunities that have been provided to me in this world on the internet. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the trading group, and I'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m., baby. Let's go. I love you. I thank you. And remember, you know what the secret to success is, right? It's getting started. A statement right now. I am better to my wife than 99% of men would ever be. I bend over backwards for her. I ask her every single day how I may serve her better. I treat my wife like gold. Like gold. I just don't want my show being interrupted. It's all right. I'm going to go give her the biggest hug and kiss. I treat my wife like gold. Don't you ever judge me. Don't you ever judge me. You have no idea how I treat my wife. I treat her better than 99% of men would ever even think of treating her. My wife has no problems, no issues. She has everything she's ever dreamed, thought about. I work 7 days a week for my wife. My actions speak way louder than my words. I love my wife 1,000%. Don't ever judge me on my wife. I have a show to run. I don't like my door being interrupted while I'm helping thousands of people. It's very important. There have to be some lines drawn. I love you all. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.